This video is how to start and make a 16-string Kumihimo bracelet. These are the length of string that you should cut. So if you have a wrist size of 5 inches, then you're going to cut 25 inches in string length, and you'll cut 16 of those strings. And that pattern continues down here, as you can see. So if you have a 9-inch wrist, you're going to cut 37-inch strings. So I have here my Kumihimo disc that I have started, or I have made the disc for it. There's another video on how to make these discs, and I have 16 strings right here. Double count to make sure you have 16 strings. Then what you're going to do is you are going to tie an overhand knot like this, and you are going to move the knot so it's a couple inches before the end of the string. This will give you enough string to tie it off, and then you're going to tie your knot tight. Okay, here's the next step. What you do, this tail drops in to the hole. Now, let's see if I can do this in the camera. I am going to take the strings, and you can see these dots on here. I'm going to put one string on each side of the dots. And I start with the strings that are opposite each other. So those two, and then let's do this one and this one right here. So by doing the opposite ones first, that's going to help me with my tension. So now that I've done these sets of opposites, I'm going to do this set of opposites here. Two per dot, one on each side of the dot. And then I'm going to continue on. This is a little bit tricky because I'm doing it over a table and I don't have gravity detangling my strings, so please bear with me. And there you have it. My Kumihimo disc is all set up. You can see in between, on either side of each dot, I have a string. So 2 strings per dot, 16 strings total. Now this is how to make a Kumihimo bracelet. The key things that I think of is top right, bottom left, rotate. So I'm gonna start with this set right here of 4 strings. I'm going to go to the top right, and I'm going to take the top right string and I'm going to bring it down. I'm not going to cross over this line right here. I'm going to stay on the right-hand side. And if I pull my string all the way out in my hand, that'll keep things from getting too knotted. Now, I just did top right, so I'm going to do bottom left. I take the bottom left and I bring it up to the top left. Again, not crossing this line. Now, I rotate. I'm going to rotate to the right as I put my arrows on there. So I take the top right, I move it to the bottom right, I take the bottom left, I put it to the top left, and rotate. Top right, bottom right, bottom left, top left, rotate. Top right, bottom right, bottom left, goes to top left. And I continue this pattern on. Now, let's say I put this in my backpack or anywhere to travel with it, and I can't figure out where I started from. If you look carefully, and I intentionally stopped on the yellow so it would show up in camera, but you can always see it. You can see that these two strings are on top. You can see them like that. So what you do is you line it up so that those two strings go to 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And then the first thing, you just did this one. So you're going to rotate and then begin your pattern again. Top right, bottom left, and rotate, and it continues on. Okay, let's see if we can figure out what to do if your card gets all messed up. So this is a student example that is mixed up. Here is what we're going to do. We need to reset this disc. The way that I reset the disc is I go back to the beginning with one string on each side of the dots. If it's not exactly in order, it's okay. You're learning how to do this. So it might not be perfect. You might have like a wonky spot in that part of the bracelet, but you're learning how, and eventually you'll get used to it. So let's see right here. These two are already, I have one on each side. I have 4 here, but I can take these 2 strings here and I can move them over here. So now I have 2, one on each side of this dot. One is on each side of this dot. One is on each side of this dot. I can take this string here, put it on that side of that dot. I can take this string and it goes here. I'm starting to get my pattern successful. Right here, and then these 2, if I can get that one out, go here. Now, where do I start? Well, this one looks like it was most on top. You can see right there, it looks pretty on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate to the right and I continue on. Top right goes to bottom right, bottom left goes to top left, and rotate. And that is how you fix it if you get confused. At the end of the Kumihimo bracelet, when you're all done, you take the strings off and you do an overhand knot. And I have a video also on how to finish your Kumihimo bracelet.